40,000 people, one killer, 18 operators, and a window that closes every time he smiles. July 14th, 1974. Lake Sammamish State Park, Issaquah, Washington. It is a perfect Pacific Northwest summer day. 28 degrees Celsius, clear sky, the lake shimmering under a high sun that won't set until 9. Families are grilling, kids are screaming off a dock. Radios are playing Rock Your Baby by George McCrae because it's the #1 song in America, and every station in King County is running it on repeat. Somewhere in this crowd of 40,000, between the volleyball nets and the boat ramp and the smell of charcoal and sunscreen, there is a man with his arm in a sling. He is 27 years old. He is handsome. He has dark hair parted neatly. He is wearing a white tennis outfit. And in the next 6 hours, he is going to abduct 2 women from this park in broad daylight. He will ask them for help with a sailboat. They will say yes. They will never come home. His name is Ted. He will tell them that himself. Now, here is the scenario. 18 operators from the CIA's Special Activities Division, the most secretive unit in the American intelligence apparatus, are already inside this park. They arrived at 0600. They are wearing board shorts and tank tops and sandals. They look like everyone else. But under the Hawaiian shirts and the faded tees, each one carries a concealed Sig Sauer P365 with a modular suppressor, bone conduction comms linked to an encrypted channel, and a micro GPS tracker the size of a shirt button. 2 of them are running a Black Hornet nano drone at 40 meters altitude, a camera platform so small it sounds like a mosquito and weighs 33 grams. The drone feeds 1080p video to a tablet in a cooler bag. They know his name. They know his face. They know his car. A 1968 Volkswagen Beetle, tan bronze, parked somewhere in this lot. They know his method. They know his victims. They know what happens today, tomorrow, and for the next 4 years across 7 states, to at least 30 women. They know everything. The question is whether that's enough. Stay with me. This is where it gets complicated. To understand why 18 trained killers with 21st century technology might struggle to capture one 27-year-old law student in a public park on a Sunday afternoon, you need to understand what Ted Bundy actually was. Not the myth. Not the Netflix version. The real operational problem he represented. In July 1974, Ted Bundy does not exist as a suspect. He exists as a ghost. Women have been disappearing across Washington state since January. Linda Ann Healy from her basement apartment near the University of Washington on February 1st. Donna Gail Manson from Evergreen State College on March 12th. Susan Elaine Rancourt from Central Washington State College on April 17th. The King County Sheriff's Office has a task force. They have 3,500 names on a suspect list. Bundy's name is somewhere on it, because a few people, including a woman named Ann Rule who worked beside him at a suicide prevention hotline, called in tips. But he's buried under thousands of other names. No DNA profiling exists, no CODIS database, no AFIS fingerprint matching. No cell phone records, because there are no cell phones. The most advanced forensic tool available to King County detectives in 1974 is a composite sketch based on eyewitness descriptions, and the sketch looks like half the young men in Seattle. Here is the problem in tactical terms. The target has no fixed pattern. He does not operate from a base. He does not work with accomplices who can be turned. He selects victims opportunistically. He changes locations, different cities, different states, different jurisdictions that don't share information because it's 1974 and there is no VICAP, no centralized database, no internet, no way for a detective in Utah to know what a detective in Washington knows. Every single advantage a modern law enforcement agency relies on to track a serial offender does not exist yet. And there is something worse. Bundy does not look like a predator. He looks like the opposite. He was a psychology graduate. He volunteered at a crisis center. He worked on a political campaign for the Republican governor of Washington. He was charming, articulate, clean-cut. Multiple women who encountered him that day at Lake Sammamish later told investigators he seemed polite, friendly, trustworthy. One witness remembered thinking he was attractive. That is the fortress, not concrete, not barbed wire, not armed guards. The fortress is a face that looks like a neighbor, a voice that sounds like a friend, and a crowd of 40,000 people where every young man with brown hair and a tennis shirt could be the target. Now think about this for a second. You could drop a SEAL team into a medieval castle with 50-foot walls and 1,000 guards, and the problem would be simpler. Because at least you can see the walls. At least the enemy is wearing armor. With Bundy, the enemy is wearing the same clothes as everyone else. He's smiling. He's asking for help. And by the time anyone realizes what he is, it's already too late. That is what the 18 operators are up against. The unit selected for this is not a door-kicking team. This is CIA Special Activities Division, Ground Branch, specifically chosen because SAD operators are trained for denied area operations in civilian environments. They specialize in blending, in watching, in being invisible in a crowd while running a surveillance net tight enough to catch a whisper. The team of 18 breaks down into 3 operational cells. Alpha Cell, 4 operators, owns the parking area. Their job is vehicle identification and tracking. They have the VW Beetle's description. 1968, tan bronze, a dent on the left rear quarter panel, documented in a police report that won't be written for another 3 months. They carry magnetic GPS trackers, each one the size of a matchbox, 48-hour battery, accurate to 3 meters. The moment they confirm the vehicle, they tag it. If the target runs, they have him on a screen. Bravo Cell, 8 operators, owns the crowd. They are spread across the park in pairs, covering the 4 quadrants that matter: the boat ramp, the main beach, the east picnic area, and the concession stand. Each pair has a phone with Bundy's photograph loaded. Not the famous booking photo from 1978, but a candid shot reconstructed from the period, cross-referenced with the composite sketch witnesses we'll describe later. They are looking for one face in 40,000. The advantage is they already know the face. The disadvantage is distance. In a crowd, this dense visual acquisition range drops to under 20 meters. Charlie Cell, 2 operators and a tech specialist, runs overwatch from a van in the secondary parking lot. They have the Black Hornet drone, a backup RQ-11 Raven for wider area search, a signals intercept kit that is functionally useless in 1974 because the target has no phone to intercept, and a real-time video feed stitched from the drone and 4 body cameras across Bravo Cell. The tech specialist is running facial recognition manually. No algorithm, just trained eyes on a screen, comparing live feed to the photograph, frame by frame. The team's weapons are concealed. Their comms are silent. Bone conduction means no visible earpieces. They look like college kids, off-duty construction workers, a couple on a date, a guy reading a paperback on a blanket. They are the most dangerous people in this park. And nobody knows it. Here is what they have that no one in 1974 could possibly have. They have Anne Rule's book, The Stranger Beside Me, published in 1980. They have Robert Keppel's case files. Keppel was the King County detective who tracked Bundy for years and later interviewed him on death row. They have Bundy's own confessions, given to investigators in January 1989, days before his execution at Florida State Prison. They have FBI behavioral analysis reports completed in the 1980s. They have the full timeline of July 14th, reconstructed from witness statements, police reports, and Bundy's partial admissions, that tells them almost exactly what he did, where he went, and when. They know he arrives at the park between 10 and 11 in the morning. They know he approaches women near the boat ramp area, asking for help loading a sailboat onto his car. They know his arm is in a fake sling, a ploy to appear vulnerable and non-threatening. They know his first successful approach happens around 12:15 when he speaks to a woman named Janice Ott, 23, who is sunbathing alone. He asks for help. She agrees. She walks with him to the parking lot. She disappears. They know he comes back. That is the crack. The operational vulnerability that no investigator in 1974 could see because they didn't have the data yet. Ted Bundy returns to the same park, the same area, the same method, the same afternoon. He approaches Denise Naslund, 19 years old, sometime between 4 and 4:30. Same sling, same smile, same story about a sailboat. She goes with him. She disappears. 2 women, 1 park, 1 afternoon. Same predator using the same approach twice in 6 hours because his compulsion overrides his survival instinct. Multiple witnesses see him both times. A woman named Janice Graham hears him introduce himself as Ted and later describes the sling, the white tennis outfit, the Volkswagen. The information is there. But in 1974, it takes weeks to collect, months to process, and years to connect. The team has it all in a folder before they arrive. The plan is simple, because the best plans always are. Tag the vehicle at first light. Establish the surveillance net. Let him enter the park. Confirm identity visually and via drone. Track his movement. The moment he makes contact with the first victim and his method is confirmed, Alpha Cell moves to the parking lot and disables the Beetle. A punctured tire, a disconnected battery cable, something quiet. Bravo Cell shadows him through the crowd. When he walks the victim toward the parking lot and discovers his car is disabled, the window opens. He is away from the crowd. He is confused. He is vulnerable. 2 Bravo operators close the gap. Zip ties, sedative, into the van. 60 seconds. Cold extraction in a warm crowd. 0700 hours. July 14th. The team is in position. Charlie Cell confirms the Black Hornet is airborne at 40 meters, battery life 3 hours and 20 minutes at current temperature. The feed shows the parking lot filling. Sun is already warm. The lake is silver blue. From the drone's camera, the crowd below looks like ants at a picnic. Somewhere down there, a man is driving a bronze Volkswagen toward the east entrance. 0945. Alpha Cell reports a possible vehicle match in the east lot. Tan VW Beetle. Period correct plates. Dent on the left rear quarter panel. The drone pivots. Feed confirms. 1 operator walks past the car with a cooler bag, drops a magnetic GPS tracker behind the rear bumper in a motion that takes 1.4 seconds. The Beetle is tagged. 10:15. Bravo Cell reports a white male, mid-20s, brown hair, white tennis outfit, exiting the east lot on foot, left arm in a sling, walking toward the main beach area. Confirmation takes 90 seconds. Drone feed zooms. The tech specialist in Charlie Cell compares the live image to 3 reference photographs. Jawline, hairline, gait, it's him. Positive ID, target is mobile, southbound on the main path. Alone. The words come through bone conduction, a vibration in the skull that sounds like your own thoughts. 8 operators in the crowd adjust their positions without looking at each other. 2 of them are within 30 meters of the target. 1 is buying a hot dog. The other is pretending to read a newspaper on a bench. The newspaper is from today, July 14th, 1974. The headline is about Nixon. In 3 weeks, Nixon will resign. 1100 hours. The target moves through the crowd. He is browsing, looking. His head turns. Not randomly, not casually. He is scanning. An operator on the East Beach notices the pattern. The target's eyes linger on women who are alone. Women sitting on blankets by themselves. Women walking without companions. His gaze skips over groups, skips over couples, lands on the isolated ones. It is a hunting pattern, textbook predatory behavior, and from the drone feed, it is unmistakable. 11:45. The target sits on the grass near the boat ramp. He is 60 meters from the main beach. He adjusts the sling on his left arm. He looks relaxed. He looks like every other guy at the park. Battery on the Black Hornet, 2 hours and 8 minutes remaining. 12:10. The target stands. He walks toward a young woman sunbathing alone on a blanket near the water. Blonde, yellow bikini. She is reading a book. Bravo 2, the operator on the bench, transmits. Target approaching solo female, east side of boat ramp, 15 meters and closing. The team holds. The plan says wait. Confirm the method. Let him make the approach. Then move to the car. 12:13. The target speaks to the woman. She looks up, smiles. He gestures with his good arm. The right one. Points toward the parking lot. Says something. She laughs. Bravo 4, the hot dog operator, now repositioned near the concession stand, has a body camera catching the interaction at 22 meters. The audio is garbage. Too much crowd noise, too much distance. But the visual is clear. He is leaning down. She is gathering her things. She is standing up. She is going with him. 12:15. The woman walks beside the target toward the east parking lot. They are talking. She looks comfortable. He looks comfortable. They look like friends. From any angle at any distance, there is nothing wrong with this picture. Nothing at all. Alpha, disable the vehicle, now. In the east lot, an operator kneels beside the bronze Beetle. A knife slides into the rear left tire. The hiss is lost in the noise of car doors and engines. He stands and walks away. 14 seconds, 12:18. The target and the woman reach the east lot. He leads her toward the Beetle. He stops, looks at the tire. His body language changes, subtle, but the drone catches it. His shoulders tighten. He looks around, not at the woman, at the lot. He is scanning again. Bravo. 2 transmits. Target is checking surroundings. He sees the flat. And this is where a trained eye understands something that 40,000 civilians never could. The flat tire should confuse him, annoy him, make him swear and apologize to the woman and maybe offer to drive her some other time. That's what a normal person does. Bundy does not do that. He pauses. 3 seconds. 4 seconds. His head turns, left, right, behind. It is not the reaction of a man looking at a flat tire. It is the reaction of a man looking for a trap. Because somewhere deep inside the wiring of Ted Bundy's brain, there is an alarm system calibrated by years of predatory behavior, and that alarm is ringing now. The woman is saying something. He isn't listening. Bravo 6, an operator near the lot's north entrance, makes a mistake. She adjusts her position to maintain visual. She steps out from behind a van. For 1.2 seconds she is exposed. And in that 1.2 seconds, Bundy's scanning eyes cross hers. He looks at her. She looks away. Too fast. It is a tell. And predators recognize tells. He's moving. Bundy says something to the woman. Smiles, shrugs, gestures at the tire. Apologetic. She nods. He touches her shoulder lightly, and then he turns and walks. Not toward the car, not toward the beach, toward the west exit of the lot, away from the crowd, away from the woman, away from the Beetle with its tagged bumper and flat tire. He walks like a man who is late for something. Casual, but fast. Head slightly down, arms swinging, both arms, because the sling is off now, crumpled in his right hand like a rag. He drops it in a trash can without breaking stride. All units, target is rabbiting, westbound through the west lot, on foot, sling discarded. Now the operation inverts. The surveillance net, designed for a static environment, a patient wait, a controlled extraction, is chasing a target through a crowd that has no idea what is happening. 40,000 people are between the team and the man. He is moving through families and coolers and beach towels and children. And he is moving faster than anyone around him, and every second he is farther from the one fixed point they control. His car. Battery on the Black Hornet, 1 hour and 31 minutes. Charlie Cell pivots the drone. The feed tracks a white figure moving west through the tree line at the park's perimeter. He is not running. Running draws attention. He is walking with purpose. A man leaving a park on a Sunday afternoon. Nothing suspicious. Bravo Cell is scrambling. 4 operators move to intercept on the West Trail. 2 are cut off by a family reunion blocking the main path. 80 people with matching t-shirts and a bounce house. The operator curses under his breath and redirects south. Another operator is in the parking lot, too far east, sprinting now but losing ground. Bundy reaches the west exit. A road, cars. He is looking for a ride, or a car to steal, or a way to disappear. 13 minutes since he walked away from the Beetle. Charlie, do you have him? Affirmative, West Perimeter Road. He's approaching a bus stop. A bus stop. In 1974, Issaquah has a county bus line. A bus is 4 minutes out. If Bundy gets on that bus, the GPS tracker is useless. It is on the Beetle, not on him. The drone has 1 hour and 18 minutes of battery. Once the drone dies, the only thing tracking Theodore Robert Bundy is 18 pairs of human eyes in a region with 3 million people. Bravo 2 and Bravo 7 converge on the west road from the tree line. They come out of the woods like joggers, 2 guys cooling down after a run, heading for the road. Bundy is at the bus stop. He is standing with 2 other people, an elderly woman with a shopping bag, a teenager with a skateboard. Normal people at a normal bus stop on a normal day. Bravo. 2 crosses the road toward the stop. He is 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, and the bulge of the SIG P365 under his running shirt is invisible unless you know what to look for. He sits on the bench next to Bundy, does not look at him, opens a water bottle, drinks. Bravo. 7 approaches from the south, stops at the curb, stretches a hamstring, looks at a watch. The bus is 2 minutes out. Charlie, confirm identity. The drone descends to 25 meters. Risky. At that altitude, the sound is audible, a faint buzzing. Bundy tilts his head up, just slightly. Listens. Confirmed. Target on the bench, north end. Bravo 2 speaks, not into comms, to Bundy, out loud. Hey man, you know if this bus goes to Bellevue? Bundy turns, looks at him, and for a half second, the face of Ted Bundy, the face that charmed Ann Rule, that fooled political campaigns, that smiled at women before he killed them. The face does something no photograph has ever captured. It calculates. The eyes move across Bravo 2's body, the arms, the waist, the shoes, running shoes, not bus shoes, the water bottle, brand new, the watch on Bravo 7 across the road. Same watch, he knows. He stands. I think it does. Casual, friendly, already turning. Bravo 2 stands with him. Bravo 7 steps off the curb. The elderly woman looks up from her shopping bag. The teenager puts down his skateboard. The grab takes 4 seconds. Bravo. 2 controls the right arm. Bravo. 7 controls the left. A zip tie closes around both wrists behind Bundy's back before he finishes the first syllable of whatever he was about to say. A hand covers his mouth. Not hard, but firm. A third operator materializes from the tree line with the van. Side door opens. Bundy goes in. Door closes. The elderly woman blinks. The teenager says, "What the hell?" Bravo. 2 turns. Federal agents, ma'am. Wanted fugitive. Everything's fine. He holds up a badge, fabricated, period appropriate, convincing enough for the 4 seconds it's visible. The van pulls away. 13:27 hours. July 14th, 1974. Ted Bundy is in custody. In the back of the van, the most prolific serial killer in Pacific Northwest history sits on a metal bench with zip ties cutting into his wrists and a sedative patch on his neck that will kick in within 90 seconds. He is not struggling. He is not screaming. He is looking at the operators around him with an expression that every member of the team will remember differently. Some will call it anger. Some will call it curiosity. One operator, the woman from Bravo 6, the one whose exposed position spooked the target, later says it looked like admiration. That is the thing about Ted Bundy, that no amount of technology, no amount of future knowledge, no amount of training fully prepares you for. He was not afraid of dangerous people. He was fascinated by them. He studied them the way they studied him. And in the back of that van, with his wrists bound and a chemical fog rolling into his brain, Ted Bundy is still watching, still calculating, still looking for the crack. The sedative takes hold. His eyes close. It is over. But here is what no one on the team talks about during the debrief. The woman at the lake, the one Bundy approached at 12:13, the one who stood up, who gathered her things, who walked with him to the parking lot laughing, she is still at the park. She is sitting on her blanket near the boat ramp, confused about why the nice man with the sling walked away without explanation. She doesn't know his name. She doesn't know that a flat tire and a stranger's glance saved her life. She goes home that evening, watches the news, eats dinner, goes to sleep. In the original timeline, the real one, she does not go home. Her name is Janice Ott. She is 23. She works as a probation caseworker at the King County Juvenile Court. She rides her yellow 10-speed bicycle to Lake Sammamish because it is a beautiful day and she deserves a few hours in the sun. In the real timeline, she follows a smiling man to a parking lot and is never seen alive again. Her remains are found on September 7th, 4 miles east of the park, along with the remains of Denise Naslund, the second woman Bundy would have taken that afternoon. In this timeline, Janice Ott goes home. Denise Naslund, 19, a computer science student, never meets the man with the sling. She spends the afternoon at the park with her boyfriend and his friend. They leave around 5. She lives. And Ted Bundy, strapped to a bench in a van heading east on Interstate 90, does not kill Carol DeRonch in Utah, does not attack the women at the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University, does not abduct 12-year-old Kimberly Leach from a junior high school in Lake City, Florida, the murder that would become the final count against him. The estimated 30 to 36 women who died in the real timeline between 1974 and 1978 do not die. The cost of the operation is 1 Black Hornet drone with 11 minutes of battery remaining, 1 slashed VW tire, 1 fabricated federal badge, and the quiet, irreversible knowledge carried by 18 operators that the most dangerous man in that park, in any state, in any year of the 1970s, looked exactly like everyone else. And they almost lost him anyway. 40,000 people. 1 killer. 18 of the most highly trained soldiers on the planet. Full knowledge of the future. Satellite-grade surveillance equipment. And a man in a tennis outfit and a fake sling came within 4 seconds of disappearing into a county bus system and continuing a killing spree that would last 4 more years. Here is your question, and I want you to really think about it. Would you have waited? At 12:13, when Bundy walks toward Janice Ott, when the team knows exactly what is about to happen, would you wait for him to make the approach? Would you let him walk with her toward the parking lot to confirm the pattern and set up the clean extraction? Or would you grab him the second he enters the park, before he speaks to anyone, before the method is confirmed, before the evidence exists? Because you know what he is and what he will do. You know the answer that keeps Janice Ott safe the fastest. You also know the answer that guarantees the capture works cleanly. They are not the same answer. And here is the harder question. If Bundy had made that bus, if Bravo 6 hadn't been at the stop, if the van had been 30 seconds slower, what then? He has no car, no sling, no props. But he has a face that people trust, and a brain that adapts faster than any predator the FBI has ever profiled. He would have started again. Different state, different method, different name, and the team would have burned their one advantage, surprise, for nothing. 18 operators. Every piece of technology the 21st century has to offer, total knowledge of the future. And capturing one man in a crowd was still the hardest operation any of them had ever run. Not because of walls, not because of armies, because the monster looked like a friend. Could they do it? They did. Barely. With seconds to spare, and one mistake that nearly cost everything. But here is the line that stays with you. The one the team leader writes in the after-action report, in a sentence that no one in 1974 would understand. The target had no weapons, no fortress, no army, and no plan. He was the most dangerous objective we have ever engaged. Drop your answer in the comments. Would you have waited, or grabbed him at the gate? And if you think this one was close, imagine the same team trying to stop Jack the Ripper, in the fog, in 1888, in a London where the police don't even have fingerprints yet. That one's next.